Another day in the garage. Today we get to work on fuel, which is installing the SCM fuel rail, fuel pressure regulator from Fuel Lab, AEM fuel pump, to see if we finally find the issue. This is already driving me crazy, so hopefully today we figure out what the issue is. This is what we are working with to upgrade our entire fuel system. We have a brand new SCM fuel rail, Fuel Lab fuel pressure regulator, SCM gauge for how much fuel pressure, and fittings, lines, everything brand new. So the entire fuel system, besides the hard lines that are the OEM ones, should be replaced and fixed. So this should fix the issue. I keep saying that for everything I've been replacing, but everything I've been replacing was gonna be replaced later on or soon. So might as well just replace everything, do everything correctly. But before I install all of these goodies and parts, I don't know why, I just thought about this while I was working today. Let me go underneath the car. I had one of these bolts, the exhaust bolts, missing. So this right bolt missing, and maybe it had an exhaust leak while it was tuned, and that's why the car is doing that idle. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna remove this right bolt from the downpipe and see if that does a difference, because maybe the O2 sensor is reading something different from the tune and that's causing the issue, but I doubt it. Again, I'm just chasing ghosts at this time. So if you have anything that you might think it could be, or if you know anybody that could give me a hand, let me know, because I'm going crazy. Let me remove that bolt, turn the car on, and see if that does any difference. Let's go ahead and turn the car once again. And of course the battery is dead because I left the ignition on, my dumbass. So let me get a battery from one of the cars, jump start it, and see if it starts. Causing the same issue more or less. Let's see what happens. Same issue. Started the car, jump started the car, and that was not the issue, so I put the bolt back on the exhaust. Now, like I was explaining before, we are going to install the pump first, and what we went with was a AEM 340 E85 compatible fuel pump, which I didn't have before. So I think I did a video already of how to remove your fuel pump and change it. It's really, really simple. So I'll kind of explain a little bit of it just in case you missed that video, but really simple process. So again, just in case I missed it last time, 2 taps to remove your seat. There's 4 bolts here to remove this cover, and you have access to your fuel pump. You'll just remove this connector right here, which is the connector to your fuel pump. And once you remove it, you could start cranking the car so you can relieve some pressure out of the system. That way it doesn't splash everywhere. And once you remove pressure from the system, you're able to remove these bolts, which I think they're 8 mil. Remove all the bolts around, remove this assembly. And it's kind of hard to remove this ring out of the way, but once you get the trick of it, you kind of like more or less put it in a certain angle, get it out, get the fuel pump out, and then I'll explain once I have everything out. Once you have your fuel pump, this is your fuel pump assembly, which has a lot of fuel still on the sock and on the pump itself. But you'll essentially remove these tabs. You can see here, you get a flathead. Let me get a flathead, make my life easier, work smarter. Get a flathead, remove these tabs here. You'll remove this part, remove the bottom part. Again, I have a Walbro. Once you remove this part and the spacer, you'll basically be very careful with this. This is what tells you your fuel level. So you'll essentially pull it out. And there should be fuel in this. Now, unplug your harness. So, just took this outside and that easy. You already have your pump removed. You have your harness right here. I'm expecting the fuel pump, you'll remove all the parts that we will reuse. This part right here. This right here. And the fuel sock, I'm gonna see if I can fit the AEM fuel sock. If not, I will use the Walbro one. This is the OEM one because I had changed it to try to see if it fixed the idle issue. But let me bring in the new baby, which is AEM sealed in the package. And what's good about this AEM, that as you can see, it's the same plug, so you could just plug it directly to the OEM harness. You don't have to splice anything. Another good thing is it's the same, almost, honestly, it's the same size, I would say, than the Walbro 250. It's literally the same size. So just like that, everything is assembled back together. Quick note, I had to use the Walbro sock. The AEM one unfortunately doesn't fit because of this cover. Another note is that I had to drill, this is the spacer that AEM came with, but I had to use the Walbro spacer. I drilled the same hole that the AEM spacer came with just in case, because it has a hole and then there's a little hole in the pump. So I just drilled a hole on the little plastic tab for the Walbro spacer, but pretty simple. Literally how you remove it, you're gonna install it once again. So connection, install, put the filter sock on, and you're good to go. So same process to remove, reverse process. I'm gonna install this back on and start the car to see how the car reacts and see if maybe the pump was the issue, but let's see. Fuel pump is completely back on now. Let's see if the car starts and there are no idle issues. So now that I got the fuel pump in, turning on the car, gonna give it a couple of KC on, and you should hear the pump engaging, which I'm not hearing, but maybe it's because I'm too far. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to crank the car. And it is gonna take a little bit to get fuel because again, you have relieved the pressure from the fuel system. I do hear the pump now. It's about to start. And I'm gonna do it one more time. Let's see what happens. Same issue, which I'm not surprised. So it wasn't the fuel pump. Same issue, same thing. So time to install the fuel pressure regulator and the lines. Another quick thing I feel like I should do is check the spark plugs. They are brand new or a couple of months old, but I still should check them. That's something I should have done from the beginning, but I'm gonna check them now. Just again, chasing ghosts, but I wanna try something else. So let's do that. Let me remove them, check them, check inside to see if I see anything weird in the piston. And if not, we will continue with the FPR and the fuel rail. Just remove spark plug from cylinder 1 and it doesn't look, let me see if I could get this to focus. It doesn't look bad. You know, this is pretty normal wear and tear for, I would say, a couple of months. So this is number 1. Let's check all the other ones. I do see a little bit of dirt, but it was dry, you know, no oil. I'm not sure where that brown is coming from. It seems like dirt, to be honest, when I took it out. So I'm gonna put a little vacuum in there and suck up all that dirt before it goes back into the piston. But so far, 1 is good. So I checked the gap for every single one, which was set at 0.27 when I tuned the first time. So I just checked on every single spark plug, all the gaps check, all the spark plugs look pretty good. Another thing that just came to mind, and again, these could be, I don't know why the camera's so out of focus. Another thing that just came to mind that, again, chasing ghosts, could be the coil plug system. Like the actual coils might be bad. I'm not sure if that will cause lean at idle, because when I'm on the gas, on the road, it runs perfect, 14.7 on the AFRs. So not sure, but gonna put the last spark plug in, connect everything back on, start it just to see if maybe cleaning. I also was putting a vacuum inside, cleaning all the dirt and stuff. Again, not sure if it will do something, but let me continue, put the last one and start the car. So just put all the spark plugs back in and everything, checked over all the wires. Doubted that this will do something. I won't record the startup, but I am gonna start it up. If I do see a difference, that'd be crazy, but I will let you guys know. You guys, what the situation is and why I'm cutting this video short. I only did the fuel pump and checked the spark plugs. I was sent the wrong fittings for the fuel rail. So it's a waiting game from here. I already spoke to STM, they're gonna overnight the correct fittings, but as you can see, these are too big and they will not screw into the fuel rail. So I cannot install the fuel rail or the fittings, hoses or anything like that until I get the correct fitting. So as soon as I get that, I will make another video. So this one is gonna be maybe a bit short. I think it should be around about 10 minutes, me explaining the fuel pump procedure. So it is pretty good. That's more or less what the H video is. When you think anything else could go wrong, something goes wrong. But again, it's all part of the process. I like doing this. I'm passionate about it. So I still like the, you know, the hustle and trying to find the issue, but it is starting to get to me because I just want to drive the car. Like I always say, my car is always running 100%, and this one has been weird. I'm not sure. Hopefully the FPR might do it. I highly doubt it as well. I've been talking to a tuner, Performance Destination, and he's been saying that it could be the tune as well. But again, a tune just doesn't go bad. I mean, it could happen, but it just doesn't. Something in the trims, something changed, you know, what the ECU was reading. So I want to find it. Like I literally don't want to retune. I just want to find the issue. But if it gets to that, then I'll just retune, which I'm going to have to. I switched the turbo, going to switch the exhaust, switch my fuel system setup. So we are going to get to that point, but I just want to find what it is. I'm so sorry if my energy was like super down in this video and I was just talking like super serious. This is getting to me, I'm stressed. So if you have any idea of what it could be, or if you see my issue and you've had that issue before, please leave them down in the comments. Contact me through Instagram. Let me know. Like always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure to subscribe. Every video comes out every Saturday, every weekend, no exception. Keep grinding, and I'll see you guys next weekend. Take care.